indicate this footage yet.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep them off you. This is McQuarrie. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secure. As soon as we're able to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
We've got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates this footage yet.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep them off you. This is McQuarrie. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main guns online. Omega left. We're getting cargo secure. As soon as we're able to lift, we need to get on board as quickly as possible. Now tracking multiple targets inbound.
We've got him on radar, Control. Moving to intercept.
Oh no! We're... meters altitude. Telemetry indicates this footage yet.
Roger that, Control. We'll keep them off you. This is McQuarrie. We're on him. Lead the way, sir. It's a pleasure to fight with you at last.
Omega lead, ejecting.
Roger, Control.
Omega, this is Control. We should lift off of the second dropship. Orders?
This is Forward 3. The gantries are retracting at Gamma launch site. They're at full power and counting down to lift. Salvage operation. This is Forward 1. You're running out of time. Party Gamma is nearly powered up.
Take out the APU gantries as soon as possible. If the dropship gets powered up, it'll bring its main gun.
Welcome everybody. Hello to BFM Season 4, Week 4. 228 Death from Above versus Cameron's Highlanders. We have both teams in lobby already, thank God, because things are moving quickly here. Also, check out MRBC 2 if you want to watch Aces Wild versus Zeta, another Div C match that's going on right now. And I'd like to thank Nita Pickle and Daidachi for doing the EU match this morning, or, well, 2 o'clock my time, so. My host here with me, Saruman, who I will have to fix the titles.
Well, you had my name differently. How dare you? I'll have to stick my Uruks on you.
Haha. Good enough. Or do you want the full title?
Saruman's fine.
Alright, so we got Tourmaline Desert or Dessert in match 1, depending where you're from. 275 ton, 300 ton, Seabull only variants, max 3 of any chassis across any 5 drops. And 3-point conquest.
And it looks like both teams are locked, so we're just going to jump right into this. So far, 228 Death from Above has said that they're locked. They're ready to go right now. Cameron's Highlanders is about to be locked, so they're just jumping into this. Either they want to go to bed early or they just want to wipe the floor with each other. Either or.
I'm just glad to have everybody on point tonight. I mean, they do have 50 minutes technically to figure things out, so I know 228 likes to take that full amount of time. RJ here's watching in the chat, so he'll know. Or if Iron Kilo is, they like that shit too.
Okay, Orbit Rain and 228 Death from Above are both locked. We're good to go. Oh, I'm the launch guy. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And now it's going to be very interesting seeing those teams. Cameron Highlanders has been kind of struggling a little bit in this division. They're not necessarily last, but they are kind of in the lower echelon of the division, which is interesting because Cameron's Highlanders has a lot of experience, but 228 Death from Above has a lot of talent, and Seabiscuit's kind of proven that he's been a very solid leader. Nothing against RJ, he's been a pretty good leader too, but it definitely feels like Seabiscuit's kind of steered this team in the right direction. So it's going to be interesting to see how this match comes down. It's kind of like experience meeting new blood, but at the same time, 228 Deathwatch doesn't necessarily have completely new blood, since Nuclear Weapon's actually a seasoned pro. He played on Lords, he played on CSJ, he was one of the best range traders and brawlers on those teams, even though he never actually committed. So right now, Cameron's Highlanders definitely has a match on their hands. It's going to be a big challenge, and now I'm going to turn it over to you, Belmont.
Well, I know RJ, he's pretty busy doing a lot of the streaming stuff, so maybe it was time to let Death from Above go to somebody who could dedicate more time to it. Not saying RJ did a bad job, but he's had fun with the team for a long time. But actually, tell me what you got on Cameron Highlander's side.
Right now on Cameron Highlander's side, what we're seeing is White Tiger and a linebacker D, Sir Epic Pooner and the ever-elusive Assassin, X-Kulan and the Mislinks G, which is probably loaded to the brim with machine guns. Another linebacker piloted by Derek Koo, and Orbit Rain and Candyman have 2 Assassins, but right now it looks like they're already starting a huge fight on Theta. What do you see, Belmont?
Oh, yeah, Candyman just got obliterated by SRMs right off the bat. I mean, 228 brought the Huntsman P in triples with a 2-kit Fox and a Mad Dog, so this is already not taking a good turn for Cameron's Highlanders.
And the best thing about this kind of setup is they both understand that the heat efficiency is going to be an issue here, so that's why one side's kind of eschewed lasers more than the other. Derek Koo's going to be at a disadvantage in that linebacker because, well, not at a disadvantage, that one's actually got missiles. Sorry. But Derek Koo's going to still be at a disadvantage because the linebacker's a big target. Like, it's definitely got a big CT, but the engagement's still going on. Right now, it looks like Cameron's Highlanders is just losing this percentage battle because 228 is just making smarter trades.
Oh, I was incorrect. They brought streaks on the Mad Dog. I wonder if the other Huntsmen have streaks as well. Yep. They are streak boating, and they are using them to good use here.
And it's a smart move, too, because right now, Assassins are extremely elusive, and their hitboxes are able to kind of jank the SRMs, so it probably was a good choice. I would say that the team comp definitely favored 228. They knew to expect Assassins, and it's showing because those streaks are just ripping through, and it's very unfortunate, but right now it seems like Cameron Highlanders is kind of like Poland in World War II. They just kind of got steamrolled and blitzkrieged.
Yeah, if you want to use linebackers, you almost want to use there's 3 of them in the SRM conversion, but that's it. 5-0 for Cameron Highlanders. Sorry for 228.
We didn't even really have a chance to say anything, like right from the get-go. From the start of the match onward, it was just constant action. It was awesome.
Yeah, because only Pickle Rick went down, and I think it was Lawrence Elsa who was getting to about 60% in the damage.
And now, if you see the damage, Seabiscuit, Stranger, Bombing Jupiter, they were in Huntsman's. I'm guessing that those were a mix of streaks or SRMs. Nuclear Weapon was also bringing streaks in the Mad Dog, so the damage might be a little bit inflated, but it was easy to see that the streaks were extremely effective against the Assassins.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And we can bring up the map strat now if you want.
Oh, it's not telling me who won. That's why.
Right.
Alright, let me go to the map strat here. If it lets me.
I mean, there's not much to talk about, unfortunately.
Yeah, she was pretty quick enough where...
Now, one thing that I will say is that I kind of like the way 228 played it. They kind of used their jump jets the best way they could and just pop sniped Cameron's Highlanders from different directions. Cameron's Highlanders were kind of like all huddled up over here while 228 spread around the Theta area in a concave.
Yeah, because they got those pretty quick jump jet locks on, is it Candyman, I believe? And right off the bat, he turned to run to try and get out of undercover again, but it was already too late for him.
And it wasn't even that. It was just like the pokes seemed more intelligent on one side or the other. Like, it seemed like the not necessarily the experience on comp, but the experience with their mech choices came through because Seabiscuit and Stranger Come Knocking were making very, very intelligent pokes, while kind of just Cameron Highlanders were sitting there taking them. And they didn't really try to shuffle for cover. They didn't really try a push. They just seemed like they were sprawled throughout and just seemed like they were dancing around trying to find the best place to kind of push in. But the push never came to pass, and in the end it was just a massive trade war that they were losing because of a disadvantage in the mech lab.
Yeah.
You know, like, you put an assassin up against that kind of mech, it's not going to work. Like, a Huntsman, especially with the Mad Dog with streaks, like the Assassin, it has armor quirks, it has SRM quirks, but it just doesn't have enough firepower to compare with the Huntsman. The Huntsman's able to put upwards to 40 to 60 streaks on its mech. Assassin, somewhere around 20 to 30, I believe, so...
Yeah, because I didn't even have time to look and see if they had tag or UAVs up. Like, it was... I mean, everything was pretty tight enough where they didn't have to. So I've watched a few matches where a lot of guys couldn't make streaks work.
Oh, sorry for interrupting you. I just got excited there. I wanted to bring that up too. That's where 228 also made a very intelligent move. They were the ones that put up UAVs during that fight. And that could be why they got the quick locks. They dropped UAVs. Cameron's Highlanders really wasn't able to shoot them. And it gave them a huge advantage.
Yeah, that was a tough one. But I mean, right off the bat, if you're going to go into brawl and you got streaks, you got to make that quick stuff happen. So.
It is like a brawl comes down to a lot of quick decision making, but it also comes down to knowing when to engage and knowing how to engage. The problems with Cameron's Highlanders was that they didn't take advantage of the high DPS that they had, and they just poked, and they tried to win in a poke war, and that's extremely disadvantage extra against streaks that were brought by the Huntsmen, because that's exactly what they want, because the streaks are less heat efficient than the SRMs.
Yeah. Although we got one team... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to end. So basically, Cameron's Highlanders unfortunately played right into the hands of 228.
Yeah, no, it's true. Well, before the next match starts, do you want to do a quick giveaway? I got lots to do tonight.
How about this? Let's save the giveaway after this match.
Okay, we'll start it after that. No, that's fine.
We got a lot of giveaways to go through, people. Don't worry, free stuff's coming.
So hold off for the next match. Stick around. Check MRBC2 as well. I know Kurlon got giveaways to do as well, so double up your chances tonight.
The map was still Tourmaline, right?
Yes. Just switch sides.
Just making sure. I was a little paranoid about that because I'm used to MRBC where the map changes like crazy. No map is ever the same on MRBC. It's like your favorite flavor of ice cream at the ice cream shop. No flavor is ever the same.
Yeah.
Unless you're the guy that just orders chocolate all the time, in which case you are boring, and I'm sorry.
I'm all about that orange creamsicle.
Oh my god, you know what? Butterscotch is a big win. Put some M&Ms with some chocolate syrup on butterscotch, I'll do whatever. You know, I will give you my account for a good butterscotch ice cream.
Yeah.
Man coming in.
All right, so who you
Oh, sorry.
who you staring at on this side?
Getting your way.
Well, right now, Cameron's Highlanders is once again bringing the Nova, the Vindicator, and the Stormcrow, along with a Wolfhound and another Stormcrow. So it looks like they might be going a little extra lasers here. Meanwhile, it looks like on the other side, 228 is bringing some DACA with the Dragon 5N. Arctic Wolf packs some SRMs, 2 Dragon 5Ns, so they're going to have a lot of DACA fire. Urban Mech with lasers and machine guns. And it looks like that the fight's once again already starting over Theta. Right now, 228 is taking advantage of the Dragon's extra range to kind of DACA down the mechs that are poking on Cameron's Highlanders side. They're only making a push with Theta with 1 light, but what do you see, Belmont?
Yeah, I see that Dragon Trip Lance just hanging out there trying to get the crossfire going because they got their lights on Theta. And Orbit Rain popping in quick, dropping that UAV. Candyman's already at 89%. Yeah, they are not going to have a fun time crossing here.
Right now, it looks like Candyman's eating a lot of damage on the cross, and it looks like he's going to try and get around to flank Theta and do some extra damage, meanwhile chasing this Piranha off. So they're trying to attack from multiple angles, and they kind of succeed since the Arctic Wolf and the Piranha are trying to flee, and they're not in the best position. Cameron's Highlanders is doing some good damage on the Arctic Wolf, but what are you seeing from the heavies?
Well, I was staring at Theta, but I mean, those Dragons got to start moving in quick to support their lights. Although, yeah, we can see Cameron Highlanders backing off now. I mean, they don't want to take Theta. Although the damage spread is pretty good across the board, other than Baron being the lowest on 228. I mean, things are pretty even so far. So it'll be interesting to see where they move from here. I thought they were going to try and keep that crossfire going, but...
Yeah, I would agree that the damage is seen even from a distance. That's true, but the Dragons are still fresh, and they don't look like they've really been touched, and that's going to be what's going to be the deciding factor in this match. Since those Dragons aren't actually that hot, the heat efficiency on the AC2, the UAC2s, is not necessarily that bad, especially when you get to chain firing position. You're still putting out a lot of DPS. So the important elements of 228's team are still intact. Meanwhile, you have the Nova at 81%. That's probably a lot of damage in important places like the arms and shoulders. You have the Stormcrow that ate some damage. The Wolfhound's not in good shape, but it looks like the engagement's starting up again. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I'm looking at... we have their 1 light trying to take Kappa while they start to swing around Crystal Castle here. Because it looks like they want to come in for those lights again. Yeah, because they like keeping those Dragons back, which isn't a bad idea. Because everybody else, the Arctic Wolf and the Piranha, can always move quick, so...
Yeah, and right now, SRMs are going out. Oh, that Wolfhound took a huge hit. Right now, down to, like, wow, that was brutal. It looked like, I believe he was down to 88%. Wow, that might not even register. That's weird. Oh, but the finisher's coming in, and it looks like, oh, wow.
Yeah, they hit Baron quick there with some lasers and took him out.
Oh, man, and it looks like Cameron's Highlanders is full committing on this push. Well, not full committing on this push. It looks like they're starting to back down a little bit, or at least they're trying to wait for the rest of their team to move up. Meanwhile, the Dragons are still putting a lot of pain. 228 lost a guy, but you have the Nova and the Wolfhound down less than 70%. The only one that's over 90% on Cameron's Highlanders is Deriku. And even if you look, like, if you look at the Wolfhound status, like, it's not looking good. A lot of that damage is in the shoulders. He's going to lose one of his arms, which isn't that big of a deal, but still, that right torso is somewhat open. He's running an XL, and so it's going to be dangerous for him.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea to... I see what they're doing now. I mean, I don't mind not committing on a push like that. Like, you want to sometimes be easy when you're pushing up on stuff, so... But Orbit Rain here not pushing out way too hard in front of the team. He cannot change out and switch out
No,
And
he
there he
couldn't, and
goes.
he got punished for it heavily. And right now it looks like 228's trying to conclave around this push. The Stormcrow, Derek, who's getting eaten alive by the Piranha, and while he managed to get some damage out, it's showing that he's just not doing well. The Dragon's going in, trying to get some DPS out on the Nova. It's about to lose its right side.
Yeah, well, everyone's trying to focus on that Piranha, which is typical for the way these things go. Those dragons can come in and put some damage down.
And while it looks like...
And look at those UAVs. 4 UAVs up from 228.
Yep, they're prepared for this push, and while it does look like right now that Cameron's Highlanders is dominating on the cap, it deserves to be known that 228 is still very much ahead on tickets, and it would take Cameron's Highlanders at least a minute or so in order to line up with these tickets. That's a minute of trading that they're going to have to not do, a minute of pushes that they're going to have to not do, and a minute of tucking down that they're going to have to do in order to preserve their mech, since they're just eating a lot of damage. Right now the Nova's at 34%, lost an arm.
Yeah, he took a lot of fire trying to get back down there. I don't know if he forgot that he had jump jets or just wasn't thinking, because at this point the Piranha could almost go down there and finish all 3 of them if they weren't paying attention.
And right now it looks like that... Oh, I do not like this flanking maneuver. It's too wide.
Although Pickle does have a red and yellow leg, so he is not in a good position to be chasing them down either.
And this is kind of what I was referring to before. Like, the damage numbers were even at the beginning, but the point is that the Dragons were completely fresh, and these are the mechs that are going to decide the action. You look at Seabiscuit, his left leg is orange, sure, but with the range he has, he really doesn't need to worry about having a bad leg, especially when the caps really aren't that far apart from each other.
Although Candyman coming in here with Sir Pawn and Kulan trying to finish off Stranger Come Knockin'.
And he's not getting the shots in, and not only that, but it looks like, oh, they are focusing the right side, which is where the Dragon's Arm is, which is good, but it's just not enough. It looks like 228 is going to clean this up, since it's just Candyman and the Wolfhound.
And he almost had Stranger too. I think he shut down for a second there.
Yeah, he did. He just couldn't get the right burns on. He had Stranger exactly where he wanted him, but then Lawrence came in with the cleanup. Being the second dragon, you know, you have those 2 high-range components that are kind of able to cover each other, and there's really nothing you can do if you don't have a solid push, and if you're not able to axe one of those range components out immediately. You know, the dragons were able to easily support each other. If one was jumped on, the other 2 was able to take advantage by getting maximum amounts of range fire, clean range fire, by not being pressured.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful way to do it with that long range fire.
And I think the worst part is that it seemed like for a while Cameron's Highlanders kind of had the advantage a little bit. The push was promising, but the push stalled in the worst possible position.
Yeah. And you look at those damage numbers, 2,700 plus for Lawrence and Stranger Come Knockin' in those dragons. And you got Sir Epic Poner and the Vindicator of 400, which you don't see a lot of. Thank goodness he's bringing some old school IS mechs back.
And you know what? Nuclear Weapon, even though I talked up a lot during pre-match, he was in the Urban Mech. The Urban Mech has a very interesting role on most teams. It's kind of like a mix of a tank and a light because it's got so much armor. It can move decently fast. It's over 100 kph, but at the same time, it's able to eat a lot of punishment because A, its armor quirks allow it to eat a lot of punishment, and B, its entire hitbox component, its anatomy, is extremely compact. So if you think you're shooting its side torso, it's very easy for it to twist into its arm because everything's kind of pushed together. It's not easy to focus a component out like a Wolfhound where a shoulder is easily identifiable, or a Jenner where the torso sticks out like, you know, like a cold sore, or like a Wolfhound whose shoulders are also very pronounced, or an Arctic Cheetah who has big legs. It's very hard to focus down a component on an Urban Mech, and as a result, Nuke was able to do his job decently by absorbing some damage, but most importantly, Lawrence, Elsa, and his other dragon friends were able to pretty much just clean up the game.
Yeah.
And now we can do a mech pack.
Mech Bay? We ain't that rich in BFM, come on.
I wish we were. I would have, you know what, like, I'm enjoying the direction PGI is going in. These patches are amazing, but it'd be great if they could grace us with mech packs, you know? At least like an Urban Mech pack. Come on, there's nothing wrong with an Urban Mech.
Alright, let's load up the MRBC. Are you on? As a... There you are. Saruman. Get rid of you, get rid of me.
Oh, really? You had to get rid of me? No.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of the shoutcasters. And
But I'm an admin and a shoutcaster. I get free things.
No, you gotta go on...
This is paid.
You gotta go on MRBC 2 for that. But let's do this giveaway for Mech Bay.
Remember, don't do bots. If I hear you calling out Commander Root's name, you're fired.
I don't know who owns the bots here.
Alright, let's see what we got.
A lot of recognizable names I know on here, so that's good to see.
Indeed.
And Race JC is the winner.
Oh, that's nice.
Come holler at me, System Belmont, or Saruman in chat. We can get you that Mech Bay, brother.
Definitely. Unfortunately, this has a delay, so we won't get the message for a while. Okay, so this is a map change, am I correct?
Yes, we are going to Caustic Valley.
Do we have to change teams?
No, they stay this side, then we flip them in the next one, and then it sits for drop 5 again.
And then after that, the map ban phase. Okay. I am an admin. Don't let this kind of thing fool. I know what I'm doing a little bit. All right. Normally not this close.
That's right. I gotta update my drop 3 here. There we go. Drop 3, Caustic Valley. Now that the tonnage has moved up to 375 to 400 ton max, we'll see what we see in this one. Especially with some of the weird mechs being on sale right now. Been seeing a lot of Victors lately in quick play, so we'll see if that transfers over to more of this competitive season.
Definitely. I mean, I'd love to see the Victor. I remember, I'm very old school. As a matter of fact, a couple people in the chat already pointed out that I'm the head leg guy. Like, yeah, in another life I was White Death, you know, like light pilot that got head leg. Lots of fun. Cool. But I remember playing with when the Dragon Slayer was so strong, and it was the primo jump sniping mech, and it was just so much fun. I wish they brought back aerial combat. Like, you know, a lot of jump sniping was highly controversial, but in my opinion, it was the pinnacle of skill in MechWarrior Online because it required. And I've gotten fought on this opinion a lot. Like I said, it's just an opinion; it's not fact. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would probably disagree, but it feels like that was a pinnacle period of skill because the windows to hit shots were extremely small. And with the constantly moving hitboxes, like, you really had to lead into shots and take time to get the right target and take time to really know where the opponent's going to go. Kind of have to guess where your opponent's going to go before they did. But right now the match is starting. Sorry for droning on.
Yeah, she dropped quickly again. These guys want to get to bed, obviously.
Well, either they want to get to bed or they want to get butterscotch ice cream with chocolate syrup, or, you know, or in Nuke's case, you know, like nuclear wings. I don't know. They might have that where he lives.
Oh, we have swap. We got RJ Basin now, the streamer himself.
RJ Base making a special appearance in the Orion 2CA, no less. I like this, RJ. You are a very strong-willed man. That is a full brawler Orion 2CA. RJ Base is going to go full ham in this thing, and it is going to be nasty if he's able to get close. This is a lot of damage and a lot of crit potential.
Yeah, well, let me talk to you what Cameron Highlanders brought. They brought a Hunchback 2C, an Ebon Jag, a Roughneck. They got Deriku and a Mauler 1P, and I don't know about that selection. Unless they're trying to keep the tonnage even across with another linebacker and Roughneck again, but I don't know. Mauler's an interesting choice for this.
I mean, the Mauler isn't necessarily a terrible pick. It's the Mauler definitely has its advantages. It has high mounts. It's able to fit a variety of weaponry. The Roughneck is a decent choice. What I'm not liking are the linebacker picks, mainly because these just don't seem to be the maps and leagues to play the linebackers. And also, I'm not liking the Ebon Jag pick at all because it's a very hot mech for a hot map. But let's see how it plays off. What are you seeing?
Oh, I'm seeing Lawrence get lit up on that bad choice running into center. Although 228 had a good position to shoot those guys when they started walking in. Ooh, beautiful strike that I believe hit Kulan in that roughneck.
And right now it looks like that the Arctic Cheetah for 228th is roaming. They're just trying to keep watch over the point. And overall, 228th looks like that they're going to collide with Cameron's Highlanders soon a little bit. It seems definitely more like a trade situation than a poking situation. Cameron's Highlanders trying to bring the pain on the mechs that are overlooking Theta to potentially make a move. But right now, 228th is trading pretty intelligently outside of Lauren Elsa's little blunder. The Roughneck is almost dead. The Eben Jag's at 68%. Percentages are definitely not on the side of Cameron's Highlanders, and nuclear weapons already taken out Coulomb, the Roughneck.
Yeah. Well, he had a massive strike on him that just ripped him apart. So after that, it was even the Blitzkrieg Radek and the Eben Jag. He got hit with 1-2. I mean, 228's using full use of these strikes, and that's not a bad thing because when they hit, man, it changed things.
Amen. 228th is famous for using strikes, and it's unfortunate that Blitzkrieg got blitzkrieged by the strikes, and right now it looks like the Cameron's Highlanders is still losing the percentage battles, and they still don't have a point over Theta. And it's interesting to note that their lights aren't really making much of an attempt to cap other points to try and force 228th out of this position or to move to any different position. I talked before about how Cameron's Highlanders showed some experience, but it seems like they're a little gun-shy about abandoning this fight to try and gain some cap points. And while it looks like that they're kind of doing even on trades, this isn't something that Cameron Highlanders wants because they've been always down in the percentages anyway. And right now it looks like that 228's going in for the kill.
Yeah, no, definitely they are moving in hard on the finish here. I mean,
Yep,
'cause I
and
know
it's
Orbit
over.
Ray, since he's a founder, I've seen him for a long time. He's got a lot of experience, but with the way things have changed with 228 Death from Above since the stock tournament, I mean, things have completely went flip mode for them.
And you know what? I've talked a big game about Nuke, but Lawrence Elsa's playing pretty good, Stranger Come Knocking's playing pretty good, and whether or not it's Seabiscuit's coming up with the strats or not, these are very intelligent, albeit somewhat conservative strategies from 228 Death from Above. But the biggest thing is that they're not doing anything that would cost them the game. They're playing a solid game management style play here, where they're just taking the trades that they can get. They're making plays to secure caps, and they're either taking it to their enemy in more conventional brawl strats, or they're just out-trading the enemy by constantly forming long concaves and attacking from different angles.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see it with Stranger and Nuclear getting 700 plus damage as well as 5 of the kills. Now, I don't know if Cameron's Highlanders has any players from the higher divs, but I mean, in theory, if they don't, I mean, they didn't do a bad job here. They were still close on a lot of aspects, but I think they were just having trouble getting around that corner. And when they did, it was only I think it was the Roughneck and the Eben Jag against a Fafnir and Annihilator. Like, that's not going to end well for you.
And like I said, the Ebon Jag, it's not an ideal mech to trade with on this map. It is too hot, and its hitboxes aren't ideal for trading either so much because its torso is very wide. There's a lot that doesn't suit the Ebon Jag in this kind of map. I definitely question that choice because it just didn't seem like a good one. And, I think we can give a second mech pack now, can't we?
Mech Bay? Yes, we can do another Mech Bay. Since I haven't even... RJ's giving us flack, as always. Because RJ hasn't been
he's not
streaming
giving
this season
flack.
either, so...
No, he's being helpful. I appreciate it. He's a seasoned guy, so, I'm not going to argue with him.
Oh, why do
He
you...
knows what he's doing.
It is true. He's been around here for a while doing this, so... Why will you not load, you hunk of... There we go.
Alright, let's give out that mech pack.
Let's add some new viewers again.
Is there any way you could just keep me in, just add my name real quick?
I told you, you can just go into MRBC2 and try to win there.
I wanna, can I get paid, please? I wanna win here.
So I'd like to get paid too. But let's rock and roll. See who gets
I'll
some
take
Mech
a
Bay.
mech pack. Fine. Fine. Nah, street. Unfortunately, you're right. Casters aren't allowed.
And Paul Volker, you have won a mech bay. I think you've won something from me before. That name looks familiar. But
Oh,
Paul,
don't let the chat know that. They're going to immediately scream rigged.
no, we're talking from a while ago. Well,
Still rigged, man.
I
They'll
heard-
still say it's rigged. I speak for the people.
I already had someone win two things on my first 2 casts. I can't remember who it was now. But Paul Volker, if you're there, find me in chat system Belmont or Saruman. You can holler at him. And let's come back. Because we are 3-0, 18-4 for 228 Death from Above against Cameron's Highlanders. And
Yep, this and you know what though? Like some of the matches, like even though Cameron's Highlanders didn't necessarily come out with a win later, they still put up a very good fight. And I believe System Belmont that you're hot miking.
Oh, that would be my toilet above me, being flushed.
Okay. Well, thankfully, that toilet does not represent this match because right now Cameron's Highlanders, despite everything, has actually been putting up a pretty solid fight. I just feel like if they could change their mech builds and their strategies around more, they would win. You know, the damage numbers have been a little lower for Cameron's Highlanders, but that's because they've been finishing kills more, especially in that second Tourmaline match you watch. Like, they did a good job just killing a mech quickly and taking it out of the fight. And that could come down to the experience that they have, but it's just that they haven't been able to finish the matches. All right, Belmont, give us a mech rundown.
Alright, I'm looking at Cameron's Highlanders right now with Orbit Rain in the Mauler, Sir Epic in the Hunchback, Deriku in another Mauler 1P, Kulan, White Tiger, and 2 Onion 2CAs, and Candyman in the Piranha 1. It looks like they want to brawl this time.
Yeah, and it looks like 228 might be asking for the same thing. You still got RJ in that Orion 2CA. You know that they're going to bring some support for that. Fafnir, kind of a more rangy mech. The Hunchback 2C can go either way. Let's see the build on that, actually, because if it is what I think, yep, it is. 2 UAC 20s. Oh, man, Seabiscuit bringing firepower to this match. The only way that this could be better is that those were LB 20s, but I'll forgive you, Seabiscuit. That's a great build, and I expect great things from you, sir. Lawrence also bringing the Arctic Wolf nuclear weapon, bringing a trademark Annihilator, probably one of the best trading mechs in the game. What are you seeing from the guys going on the field, Belmont?
I mean, we got both Maulers from the Cameron's Highlanders side with the 4 LBX-10s. So, I mean, they want to move in there with Kulan actually running the same build RJ had. And then White Tiger with a little bit different with 2 medium pulse. He's going to be hot in that thing.
And the heat is not necessarily showing right now because he's just getting striked all the way back to Kingdom Come. Or Timbuktu, wherever. And right now it looks like the trades are not going well for Sir Epic Poner. He's losing a lot of these trades.
Yeah,
I think that's Seabiscuit tearing him a new one in his Hunchback 2C.
Yeah, they came in for the push hard, but Sir Epic shouldn't have been the one pushing it with the damage he had already taken right off the bat.
Candyman taking a terrible route in the Piranha. I'm sorry, sir. Press F for your pay respects. Stranger Come Knocking got focused down in the Fafnir. Good choice. Big mech, easy to kill. But percentages still aren't favoring Cameron's Highlanders. This was not an ideal push. The percentages are completely against Cameron's Highlanders. Sir Epic Poner already dead before I could even say his percentage. Right now, Deriku in the Mauler, 41%. Kulan at 48% in his Brawling Marauder. And right now, it looks like that they're just bringing the pain.
I mean, it was
Seabiscuit letting it ride.
Yeah, it was definitely smart for 228 to drop those strikes quick off the bat because that puts those percentages. It starts hurting everything right before they get in quick, right?
And it doesn't help that Lawrence Elsa's Streak Mech was pretty much able to shut down the Piranha, and this is just a cleanup. The Piranha definitely should not have been leading that push. I feel very bad for him because, you know, being a light mech, getting streaked is the worst. It is the worst. I'm going to say that a third time. It is the worst. But in the end, the Piranha led the push. The mechs that shouldn't have led the push led the push. You had the Hunchback 2C that was kind of in the front trying to rotate out in Orbit Rain. And it just, it was not really well coordinated, and they were losing trades, and it was kind of predictable. It was in the center of the Caldera, and that's also a red flag because, you know, in the center of the Caldera, heat efficiency is a huge issue. Like, when you're pushing in that center area, your mech's going to be at its hottest in this map.
Yeah,
and it
they
shows.
were on the wrong side of it, that's for sure. Because like I said, with the 228 on the outside and the rocks there, they had lots of cover. There was lots of places they could move and hit from, and that's what they did.
Normally, it's more conventional to push on the outside going in and use the lights on the inside as distraction because their heat efficiency is a bit more forgivable. But as we're saying that, you know, like the lights kind of just ran in and it was streaked and its life ended, I think I actually saw the pilot's soul come out of the mech's body. In all honesty, that's how brutal that streak kill was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Orbit, it didn't do too bad of damage with Orbit Rain doing 524 there. But then, yeah, you look at the 228 side with that 652 and 641 from RJ and Nuclear.
I accidentally left. How much damage did Seabiscuit do? Please tell me you did a lot.
368, 2 kills.
No! Oh, man, I love that mech. I was hoping it was going to be the MVP. Oh, well, next time.
I mean, 228's been really smart about these drops. Like, the amount of UAVs and strikes they have, like, they are obviously running 4 on each mech. You know, they are loaded to the T. And that's something a lot of people forget is, you know, that it makes the difference when you have those consumables.
And I already told you in chat, everybody screamed rigged on your Paul Voker thing. I told you.
That's because you told them.
Well, they were screaming rigged before I said anything. I think.
That's typical to the MRBC.
Yeah, pretty much a custom at this point.
Oh, always forget I gotta do the...
Another gift back.
Oh, and I forgot how many kills they got. Damn it. Sure, go ahead. How many kills did Cameron's Highlander get? 2? Because they killed the Fafnir, or is it just the Fafnir?
I believe they just killed the Fafnir, yeah.
Oh, man.
But if there's any, I think right now you can mark them down for 1 kill. But if there is a mistake, then you know, admin here, we can just correct it.
That is true. I mean, they know to keep their picks anyways. So, if they're already banning, we should probably do the last mech bay giveaway before we start doing the 1000 MC. So stay late. Bless you, sweet Lord, Jesus. Let me get over there quick. Huzzah. Oh, I hate it never shows up quick for me. It's the worst thing. Just let the black screen do its work.
I can't tell if RJ is like yelling at me in the chat, but
alright, let's add again. Get rid of me, get rid of you, because we don't get free stuff, and let's rock and roll.
yeah, we don't get free stuff. That'd be unprofessional if we did. That'd be almost like a bribe if you think about it.
Yeah.
You know, looking back at the replay, it seems like a lot of Sir Epic Poner's damage might have even come from a strike because he really, really, really did eat a lot of... He ate a lot of lasers and AC fire on that opening push.
And Poor Decisions TV is the winner.
Oh, really?
Come holla at me, System Belmont or Saruman in chat. We can get you something nice. Give you a new garage. Basically what it is.
Will you have a Lamborghini there? Up in the Hollywood Hills?
I will not.
Old meme. Okay.
Yeah, 24-5, 4-0 for 228 deaths from above. So we are playing on mining.
Yep, and looking back at the replay, Stranger Come Knocking in the Fafnir was the only death.
Oh, it's good to see someone's actually in chat that's talking. People asking me for stuff.
We choose to play on mining. Okay.
I'll have to get these guys some codes before I forget. I'll have it out of the way. And I didn't see if there's anybody else new that they brought in, but do we still have... Yeah, we still got RJ in here. We still got basically... Yeah, we got the same... Oh, we got Torwin Dog. Don't think he was here before. Doesn't look like it because he says hello. There we go. Got those two done. Don't gotta worry about it. And we are good to go. Unless my co-host here has ran to the bathroom without letting me know.
No, I'm here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're ready to rock and roll then.
Final match. And it looks like I actually made a mistake already. A user corrected me. The Piranha didn't lead the push, even though I saw a little mech run to the front from Cameron's Highlanders side. I guess I was mistaken. Apologies.
I don't... Well, because it was the Hunchback. He was hit with a bunch of strikes, a bunch of DACA, and then he went around the stride and took the center, and everyone came behind him.
Eesh. Not great. A blunder on my part. Holy vey. That's like comparable to a 12 damage panic button run. Oy. Sorry. Much love panic button. You're a better man than I am.
And let's... Oh, of course doesn't want to show me nothing yet. Although, what do we have?
Final match. 4-zip.
Don't forget that you
Time for Cameron's Highlanders to take a point off. What'd you say?
they can only touch Sigma, Theta, and Gamma.
Mm-hmm.
And we on the Cameron Highlander side, we have the Bushwhacker, Mad Cat 2B, two other Bushwhacker X1s, and they've tripled up on the Mad Cat 2Bs, so this should be interesting.
And once again, Seabiscuit is bringing the Hunchback 2C with two UAC 20s. I love it. He is not giving up on that mech. My man. A nuclear weapon bringing the trademark Annihilator 2A for 228th. RJ Bass bringing the Mad Cat 2B. Actually a staple in comp filled with Ultra UAC 10s and 5s. Very, very strong mech on par with the Annihilator. Pickle Rick, staple light pilot for 228th. Death from above, bringing the Piranha 1. And Stranger Come Knockin', trying again in that Fafnir 5. And right now it looks like that, or Cameron's Highlanders with Orbit Rain at the reins of the team, leading the push.
Yeah, and I liked some of the builds they got here. I mean, they've obviously run DACA on the heavier mechs, but they're Bushwhackers. The two that are by themselves are running AC-20 and Snubnose PPCs. So it should be interesting. Although we have 228 taking top deck already, so...
And Orbit Rain is punished for leading that push because he eats a lot of damage very early by the other mechs. The Mad Cat Mark II is at 88%. Sir Epic Poner take a very bad hit. He's at 85%, now 77. And the trades, even though are still somewhat even, Sinistral's percentages are going down, Stranger Come Knocking's going down. So this is just a massive trade battle over Theta, and it's coming down to DACA and lasers. What are you seeing?
Well, I'm watching RJ and Pickle. They swung up from behind and put some backfire on the... Not Dereku, but Orberain, Torwin Dog, but White Tiger seen it coming, so he snuck behind them as well. Now RJ's getting punished.
Oh man, Seabiscuit's showing the power of the UAC 20s right now by demolishing opposition, and it looks like right now 228 Death from Above's cleaning up. Interesting note though, the percentages were really not that bad. They were extremely close, but in this situation it just looks like 228 Death from Above is once again finishing the fight, something Cameron's Highlanders has struggled to do this entire round.
Yeah, well, this is almost reminiscent to what happened to us against, I think, White Knight Legion, where I made the push up with my Stormcrow on the top deck, and they had linebackers swing all the way around as they rushed the center, and they came and hit me hard from behind. That was all she wrote.
Match is over, and you know what? Kudos to Cameron's Highlanders. If RJ and his team didn't sweep around, that match could have gone either way, because those original percentages, like, sure, at the beginning, Orbit Range was kind of losing, but his team was bringing it back, and he was bringing it back too, a little bit. When
you look at those damages, like, it was pretty close across the board, except for Torwin Dog, who went down pretty quick with only 21 damage. But 542 coming from Sir Ekpaponer. I mean, Nuclear with 611, 1 kill. Pickle Rick trying to take the 3 kills in that Piranha. I hope he earned those. Better have.
I mean, that's what the Piranha does. It's a kill stealer through and through.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you get your Death Star. That's the way she goes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so let's do a quick giveaway for 1000 MC before the interview, and then we can do one after.
The big giveaway. Who cares about mech bays when you could buy 3 mech bays with 1 gift?
Clear the board. Of course, ditch you and me, because that's the way she goes, boys. I wish this thing was fixed. Yes, Meowser, what do you want? Let's rock and roll, see who wants this Monet.
Also, make sure you send a message to 4 Decisions TV to tell him to get his mech bay code. Don't forget about him, because he is messaging me in chat.
Yeah, he has not messaged me.
He's messaging me.
And we got...
Right now.
How the hell am I going to say that? Zarnielts. Whatever. I don't know, man. I don't speak that. Zarnielts. You have won 1000 MC, brother. So come holler at me, System Belmont in chat, or Saruman. And get some cash money for this game. Buy yourself some nice things, like some decklets.
Okay. And now, before we continue on, we'll take care of all the mech bays and MC prizes later, but for now, let's just get to the interviews. And we're going to be bringing in Orbit Rain from Cameron's Highlanders and Seabiscuit from 228th.
User was moved to your channel.
Oh, cool.
User was moved to your channel.
Seabiscuit, Orbit Rain, good job, guys. Well fought from both of you. Entertaining game.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was a great
Okay.
match by both sides.
Now, first question I'd like to ask is Orbit Rain. Now, Rain, even though the result was 5-0, it seemed like you guys constantly kept it close. Percentages were always low, and it felt like that every time you had 228th by the throat. What would you say is the biggest? What would you say was the biggest issue in not being able to really finish those percentages? Since you were doing very well damage-wise, and there were some situations where you were able to get the quick kill, but it seemed like you guys struggled finishing overall. What would you say is the biggest cause for that?
I'd say not being in control of the map space, really. That'd be the first thing. Like, the whole thing, it felt like they had better control of the map. Like, all of them. And then I'd say later in the matches, though, it probably would be the mayhem of and not getting on the same target, really.
Well, I mean, were the strikes a problem for you guys? Because it looked like they were.
We were talking about that. Like, you guys did a great job with the strikes. And we were like, you know what? We need to work on our strike game.
And now, sorry, Belmont. I just want to ask Seabiscuit this, since this is something I wanted to know. Now, Seabiscuit, now before I ask this next question, I want to make sure, are you the one that does the team strategies?
I'd like to say I'm a big part of it. I do like the overall, this is what our initial plan is, this is the mix we're taking, and then kind of in game we like to go with the flow after we know what we're doing at the beginning of the drop.
Okay, so for now, I'd like to talk about your ideas. It seemed like that you did one strong brawl push on Theta and drop 1, and then after that you kind of played it safe, played it a bit more conservative, and stuck with range. Why did drop 1 stick out to you as a drop where you felt that you had to play aggressive brawl with streaks and SRMs?
We think the very first drop is basically going to set the momentum for the whole match. So if we set it up with our highest percentage chance to win, we think is with that streak deck, then it's going to set our momentum to be really quick for the rest of the rest of the match, basically.
So were you trying to push them into assuming you guys were going to do brawl for the most of the drops?
Pretty much.
Yeah, because we were kind of surprised to see those triple dragons roll in that second drop, but I mean, keeping them back at range was definitely a great way to run that second match too.
And now another question I'd like to bring for Orbit Rain, and then after that, Seabiscuit, I'd like to ask you a last question as well. Like I said, I don't want to bombard you guys with questions. Oh wait, hold on. But Orbit Rain, during the push drops, it felt like you really got aggressive on your pushes, and you were really trying to kind of just jump on the team. Now, sometimes this worked, sometimes it didn't. Could you just walk me through your thought process on just constantly going with push decks and push strategies?
I think it's the easiest thing to get people all on the same page to do. So I've got a range of experience on my team, I guess you could say, and so getting people to do that, it's easier to manage, I think. Plus, we're kind of naturally a brawl team anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing against you guys very early, and, like, even though Pop-Tart sniping was the big thing, like, really early on, you guys kind of, you were brawling a little bit with those victors. And now to get to Seabiscuit, 228 Death from Above, like, no offense, I'm going to be blunt here. They were originally a team that didn't have a lot expected from them. You know, they were a team that wasn't necessarily a bottom feeder, but wasn't a team that was projected to really go to the top. But right now, you guys are doing extremely well. You're dominating your division, and you're changing the landscape of your team and changing your abilities. And now, having looked at the situation, I personally think that you guys belong in Div B, maybe even Div A, because you're doing very well in your division and you're a step ahead of your competition. Where do you see all this improvement coming from? Where is the biggest change that's causing this meteoric rise in your development?
I think the biggest thing that we've seen is we actually want to play the game. A lot of the other 228 teams, I guess they're burnt out on MWO, but Death from Above, RJ had some issues, and I stepped up and took the reins of Death from Above, and I basically doubled our practices and got some help from people that I knew here. And Panic Button and Iron Kilo were helping tremendously, and now Lawrence Elsa and Stranger Come Knocking are like my right and left hand, and Pickle Rick is right there as well. So basically playing, 40 to 50 hours a week, practicing, trying to hammer this out. We want to be Div A, so we want to be competition for Salt Foxes and Black Watch and Wild Ones for that. We actually scrimmed Wild Ones on Sunday to get ready for this match. That's where we got the Dragons from.
Well, I don't mean to give a dig at Swamp Foxes, but you're still in the league and they aren't, so I personally think that you got a bit of a step up on there. Sorry, had to do it. But anyway, you guys are doing a wonderful job right now. Tell Nuke that White Death loves him, says hi. Excellent match, Seabiscuit, well-deserved win. I hope you guys do very well on the rest of your matches. Orbit Rain, great match. You guys were very close against what seems to be a highly competitive team. I would hope that both of you guys keep striving to improve, because those were extremely strong matches, and despite the 5-0 result, they definitely seemed a lot closer than they really were. Good job, both of you.
Thanks, Armin.
Thanks. Yeah, great games on.
Yeah, thanks guys for coming. There was some good matches to watch and run through.
Yeah, excellent matches. Lots of fun.
All right, you guys have a good one then.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
Talk to you later.
Yep.
Good luck. Wish you the best.
You want to move them out,
User
Sarman?
disconnected from your channel. User disconnected from your channel.
And we can do the
They
last.
can disconnect.
Wow, they can too, yeah. Usually be like, yeah, thanks for coming.
They have
See you later.
fans. They can click the X button.
All right, well, let's do the last giveaway before we shut
All
her
right.
down.
But anyway, Poor Decisions. His name in game is Poor Decisions without the TV.
Man, making me do all this work. Because I knew he was there.
And
He
yeah,
was
I don't
talking,
think there's,
so.
much to say. The Mining Collective map, I think we've already said what we needed to say about it. Like the trades were very even. The match was very even. Orbit Rain took a lot of early damage on the original entry onto the ramp. And when the brawl ensued, however, RJ kind of moved with the rest of his team to the back and was able to get key kills and do what, Cameron Highlanders couldn't and finish it.
Yeah, that was definitely tough for them. We almost have a winner.
Winner for what?
For the giveaway.
Oh, okay. I thought we did it already. Sorry.
I'm doing it right now. Paul Volkner almost won again. Mi K Shen. Holler at me, System Belmont, or Sourman in chat. We'll get you some shit.
Well, right now, let's get Poor Decisions his stuff, since he's been messaging me. He says Poor Decisions is his in-game name. We should hook him up.
Damn it, why's he gotta make it so difficult? It's hard to find.
Well, the thing is that right now you're not in Twitch chat, so they really can't message you.
I'm here. What are they talking about? These guys are drunk.
Maybe they are. But I don't see you either, so I assume that I was taking control of it. Maybe I'm drunk too, and I don't know it.
Oh, I'm not admin either, so it doesn't pop up nicely.
Okay, now I see you, System Belmont. Hopefully they'll start sending you those messages now.
Yeah. Alright. But those some good drops. I mean, 5-0 for 228. 5 kills from Derek Cameron's Highlanders. I mean, yeah, like things... That last drop definitely could have been closer. Oh, I've been not hot micing with you, so been talking a lot of shit, but thank you, Sarman, for co-casting with me. I'd like to thank the teams for letting us shoutcast, and don't forget, if the MRBC 2 stream hasn't ended, it should still be there. And to check, we should be running the EMP on Saturday at 8 o'clock with Toaster again to see if we can get another team to drop out.
I appreciate it. You know, I really enjoyed this, and if you ever want to bring me in for more System Belmont, assuming I haven't been controversial in this stream, which I might have, since I don't necessarily, you know, hold back on my commentary for players or events, you know, I would love to do more.
That sounds good, but I think we only got a week left too, so it's going to be pretty tight. But you holler at me. We'll see. I got to see what teams. Never these teams ain't freaking posting nothing anymore, so it's rough on me.
Well, the end of the season is coming close, so
yeah. So everybody who's paying attention, stick around, keep watching the other matches that come up for the end of the season, and stay frosty.
And by the way, chat's making fun of your wife being in the background.
I know she is a hassle. She does not like this.
No, she doesn't. But you know what? We appreciate you doing it, and I appreciate you doing it.
I'd be trying. But alright, I'm gonna let you go and let everybody go.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for the stream. You guys are wonderful. Always appreciate the viewers. Could have used more memes, in all honesty, but whatever.
Have a good night, Space Cowboys.